Hiya, it's Amanda here from Lolli Lulu Crafts, and today I have the next Sue Wilson release. This is November 2016 and this is the very latest release. It is literally just come out, so I haven't got every single thing that was released and every element of the collection, but I've got a good selection, so hopefully you will enjoy taking a look at these. So let's see what's in the box. Oh, so exciting. Let's get a peek at the whole collection. So let me bring you in a little closer. Okay, so starting with the tag duo. Now, it used to be that she would do a corner, a tag and a border all in one pack, but lately I've been noticing that we've been having these tag duos, and I really like that because I like that there's a lot of elements to these tags. I mean, if you look here, it's 8 dies in this pack, so that's 4, I would imagine, per tag. So you've got your outer edge, your filigree section, as I would call it, then another sort of oval there, so a sort of cut out piece, and then another decorative element there as well, and the same on this one. So they're really nice. So you can see they're about I would say 2 or 3 inches, at least 3 inches. This one probably 2 inches for that one. So that's your tags collection of your Pacific Ocean. And then, talking of the border and corners, this is what I was referring to, where you would usually here get one corner and then a tag and the border, so it was kind of one thing. We're now doing these different types of decorative corners. I like these kind of reverse decorative corners. This, I think, really is so cool, where you actually put the corner of your paper, just imagine that's the corner of the paper, that would sit in there, and you would put that around the edge of your corner, whereas that one obviously would sit inside the corner. This one is sitting outside of the corner of the paper. So it's a really, I mean, that's just if you take it at its basic level of what you do with it. I mean, obviously you could keep going and come up with loads of ideas. And then we've got this beautiful border as well, and I'm noticing that we've got these sort of little dots on here, almost look like little rivets of a metalwork that you see. So here they are on the other side. Yeah, that measures up at a 6-inch border there, so a really nice size for a card. I've actually just made a card using some borders, and I'll be showing you that in due course with the Sue Wilson dies, not with this collection but with the previous collection, and it's a really nice card, even if I do say so myself. So that's our border and corners, and then we have our background. Again, beautiful. I really like this kind of design is something that I really like. That kind of, it's almost like that wrought iron kind of work that you see. I guess in a way it actually does remind me of kind of a lot of things that you see here in the UK on buildings and on churches, and on the wrought iron around the churches and the buildings, etc. So I mean, that sort of look really appeals to me. So you've got 6 dies here. Now on this edge die here, you've got your decorative element, but you don't have an outer oblong or rectangle die as you hear. You've got a plain rectangle die here, but not on the edge. Clearly it's easy enough to cut that, but by not putting the die in, you have the option of cutting it right to the very edge, or giving it just a gap of an inch of paper, or a good couple of inches. Then on the next one in, you've got just a simple rectangle, and then you've got another decorative element, then another rectangle, another decorative element, and then finishing off with an oval. So again, how you put these together is completely up to you, and you can use these decorative elements just to cut into your cardstock and leave kind of the holes, or you can use the decorative element with the rectangle dies here and cut out, say, a frame or just a decorative edge to a sort of tag, sort of layer, whatever you want to call it, to your card. That's your background collection, and I think that's really pretty. So then we have the 3 shapes here, and this is your Tahiti, Fiji and Bora Bora. So you can see here how you've got the similar shape of that hexagon, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, hexagon. And those, I'm sure if we took all of these hexagons out, that you would end up with a whole collection of dies that would mat and layer in that shape. So taking first Fiji, so beautiful shape. You can see how, although they've got that basic sort of shape in it, the actual external shapes are very, very different, and even the internal ones are different. So you've got a lot of design elements, and having that similar shape in there means that they will mix and match really, really well as well. So the set of 3 here do come with your outer edge die. Clearly it would be almost impossible to try and cut that by hand, so that is being put in for you. And then you've got your decorative element, then you've got your hexagon, another decorative element, another hexagon, and then finally another decorative element. So that's your Bora Bora one here, and I think that's a beautiful edge. I love that, the way that's doing all of that. Again, it's kind of like this sort of wrought iron fretwork. It's a really nice effect. Okay, so that's your Bora Bora. So we've done Fiji and Bora Bora. So finally, in the Pacific Ocean collection, we've got Tahiti, and I think that just looks really, really cool. I love how you've got a completely different look here. So that's that one, and that clearly is a lot smaller. Those hexagons are smaller than this, so again I think these all will definitely layer up together, and it will be interesting and quite fun when I do actually take these apart to see exactly which ones go with what. Okay, so that is your Pacific Ocean collection. So there's 6 sets of dies in that collection, and I think you don't need all of these. You can pick and mix the ones that are your favourite. As I said, I personally like getting these as a collection because they work so well together. Now I've got quite a sort of variety here in the finishing touches. So quite often you get kind of your leaves and your flowers, etc. in your finishing touches. There was a few different ones in this launch. I just went for these leaves here. I love this autumn leaf trio. I thought it was so nice, so I just went for that one. But there were some flowers, some lovely, lovely flowers, some other sort of leaves, some sort of swirly kind of leafy things. I've had some like that before, so I try when I do these collections, because these launches with you, to try and get different things to share with you each time. These aren't things that are given to me, these are things that I actually purchased, so I need to be conscious of the fact that I can't just go ahead and get the whole lot as much as I would like to. So I try to get things that will show something different to perhaps what I'd already shown you before, or something similar to what I'd shown you before. And I thought that this particular leaf collection here was quite different in its style. The autumnal kind of maple leaf look I thought was really cool. She's gone for the styling that she's done a lot, which is having your solid leaf and then your outline leaf like that. So you've got, for each solid leaf, you've got a hollow leaf, and they're great on their own. So just one as a solid one, or as a hollow one, or an open one, I think they're called. But they're also really, really cool layered up as well. It looks really, really effective. So that's your finishing touches autumn leaf trio. Okay, and then another thing that I got here was the family tree. I thought this was getting really different and really fun. And I saw in when I get told about the launches, as a blogger, I get told in advance, so I get to put my orders in advance, which is great, and I get sent a pack with all the information and all the pictures, and it has examples of the work, etc. And I saw that Sue had actually used in one of her cards this tree as a kind of sort of swirly branchy thing behind a load of flowers. So she hadn't used it as a tree, she'd used it as a decorative element of leaves, a bunch of leaves, I guess, behind all these flowers, and it looked really, really cool. I'm sure that at some point that will go up on her blog, but when I saw that, I thought, yeah, you can really think even more outside the box than you think you can. And then on top of that, you've got all these extra elements. There's 11 dies here. You've got this tire, you've got the birds, the little flowers, the bird house, the swing, some extra leaves, some little flying birds. So loads and loads of bits and pieces on the back there that you can make use of. So you could make a card just from this set, or you can use it, as I said, as sort of finishing touches to a card. So I thought that was a really cool set to have, and something a bit different to show you. On that same lines, I don't know why, but I just love dies that are like fences and gates like this. Again, maybe it's a British thing, but it just does remind me of kind of British and English country summer lanes and stuff like that. And so when I saw this one, I just was like, I so have to have this. And again, it's very different to something that I think I've seen her do before, so I thought that would be fun to share it with you as well. And also what I liked was, compared to some that I've seen from other companies, it was quite delicate, and but the detail was still there, of course, being Sue. So I really, really like that. Okay, so now on to the more current sort of new category has been your shadow box collections. Now, last time I didn't actually get the shadow box, I don't think, if I recall, but I got all the elements that went in it, and it was like a stalk and baby stuff and all of that kind of things. But as I say, I didn't actually get the shadow box itself, because on the previous occasion I'd got the shadow box, I think even maybe more than once, and so I felt that the elements would work in amongst those other shadow boxes, but I really like the elements. And the same here, there was a lot of elements this time for your shadow box. There was the shadow box itself, and then there was quite a few different packs of these extra little dies that would fit within those little boxes. One of the ones, and I didn't get it, but I think a lot of you would love, is a set of dies that was all girly stuff, like lipsticks and nail polish, and I bet as you're hearing me say that, you're thinking, as I am, are you crazy, why didn't you get it? And I am thinking that I'm crazy and I should have got it, but so I may well still go back and try and order that at some point, and if I do, I'll Instagram a picture of it for you. I've got here the Feel Better Soon and the You're a Star. I have to say, I don't actually remember this one being the one I ordered, so I do need to check back and see. Not that it matters, I still like it, and you know, if it isn't, then I'll just reorder the one that I thought I'd ordered. But anyway, that's what's arrived. This one I definitely did order, and it's quite possible I definitely ordered this one. You know, I did order this one, it's just that I've forgotten. It's very hard when you're going through them all and trying to choose stuff and think what's different to what you've already done before, as I say, to share with you guys. But I do, for some reason, I really have a thing for stuff for Get Well cards. I don't know why, I just really think they're so cute, these sort of packs of pills and the plasters and thermometer and all of that, and I love this Get Well sentiment. And you can see the dies are not like huge or anything, they're meant to sit, they're sort of little elements to sit within that shadow box, but again, you don't have to use them in that way, and they would be great as a card in its own right, and being sort of smaller elements is really cool, and I think would make a really nice card. So I really, really like that one. And then, as I say, this one is You're a Star. I didn't particularly remember ordering that, but I actually really like it, you know, with all the different sports. I think if I did order it, it would have been because it's like guy stuff, and I think that's the only thing I can think of that would have been in my mind as to why. I think that's really fun, and I love the fact, you know, you've got all the different sports, and I guess that would make a really cool guy card. And again, they're not massive, so you could put things together. So then moving on to another one of those categories, it's the backgrounds. There's not too many in this section yet, but everyone that's come out so far I've absolutely loved, and I love the way that the backgrounds came. I think last time's one was the one with all the butterflies, and I know that a lot of you really, really liked that, and I think this would kind of really mix and match well with that. So you're looking at about 12 centimetres, which is about 5 inches square. And you've got 5 dies, so again you've got your outer decorative die but no outer border square, so that you can cut that as you choose to. And then you've got your square, another decorative element, another square, and then a final decorative element, and these all follow through, so the design follows through. I think it's easier to see. You can see how the vine actually comes, so do make sure when you're using it, unless it's deliberate, that you do make sure that the dies or the pieces, if you put them together as a whole, are the right way up, because otherwise you'll end up with your vine all twisted. So that's your swirly vine in the backgrounds category. Then I have got one die from the striplets category. Again, another category that I really like. I think that it has a lot of potential, and I really like anything that has that kind of train track kind of look. It's going back to that kind of metal sort of gate kind of look, isn't it, again? So on this one you do have the outer edge, then you have your decorative element, then another rectangle, and then a final decorative element in the center. For this section, for this category of striplets, I think there were about 3 or 4 different designs. I just picked out one that I mean, it was hard, to be honest. I mean, it was hard with all of these to just pick any, because I just wanted to get them all. They were so nice. So then finally, and this isn't necessarily the final actual section that's available, but it's the final category that I purchased from, and this is your configurations. This is things like like Gemini and things like that, I believe, come into that sort of category. So this particular one is called Configurations Linear Elegance Edger, and with this you get an edger piece, a sort of central decorative piece, and then another edger piece. So obviously the possibilities are and combinations are quite a lot. So here's just a very simple example. So you've got them just singularly. Then they've shown you all three cut as one, so you could create just a complete border piece like that, or not a border, like a strip piece. But you could, of course, cut that as an edge piece, so that could be cut into the edge, and then you would cut just a straight edge across the end, or you could cut that piece with one of the edges along the edge of your card or along the edge of a layer, or you could just cut, as I sort of showed you, you could cut them on their own. You could cut these two pieces together with just right up close, nothing or something between them. So you've got all sorts of different options there. So then I got a second one of these. This one is called Trellis Edger, and again you've got it's easier to show on this side. You've got your trellis center section, so there's beginning to see a bit of a theme here of the kind of designs that I pick, isn't it? I love these kind of sort of trellisy looks, as you now probably well know. I also really love sort of scallopy edges as well, so we've got that as well. And then we've got a lovely sort of, again, a scallopy border, but it's got, I don't know if you can catch this, but it's got a lovely embossed element. So when you put it through and then you pop it through again with your embossing, you will get, can you see those pieces there that are going to really come up as little, actually I think that's, sure if it's embossed or debossed. I think it's embossed, so that will deboss into your card, so you'll get this extra decorative element into your card, which is really cool. These are 5 inches, so a nice size. Yeah, 12. I'm not very good in centimeters, so I tend to work in inches. So yeah, this is about 5 inches, so that is the last of the dies. And then finally, unusually I did get a couple of the stamps. Sometimes I get sort of 1 or 2, but this time I got 3 of the stamps. So first of all, we've got this gorgeous leaves, and I really liked how you had the design inside there, so you can stamp it out, and then instead of sort of die cutting, say, because it goes with this autumn leaf trio, as you can see, so all you would then do is stamp it out, and then using this one here, I would imagine, because this would cut it into pieces, so using the solid die that would cut around it, you would get some of the veining showing through when you put it through your die cutting machine. But if you really wanted that to pop, then you would need to put it through as embossing. Now, I personally always stamp then die cut. It seems to me much more logical to try and line up the edge of your die with the stamp, rather than trying to stamp on a, particularly something like a leaf. If you've die cut that out and then you try and stamp that on there, you're going to miss. I mean, you're not going to get it absolutely perfectly. So personally, I don't think it's a contest. I think you definitely stamp then die cut. So that is your autumn leaf bouquet. The next one that I got was this garden song, which I just thought again was really nice. You've got the musical element there with some flowers. I thought that would look really nice coloured in. You could really antique that up if you're into that kind of look as well. So I thought that was really cool. And that goes, and it tells you on the back what it goes with, so if you can't forget. And that goes with your Bora Bora, which is this one here. So you can see, if we turn it over, how that shape matches up here. So you stamp it out, you'll have that die there to cut out the edge, and then if you so desire, you can cut out the inner piece here as well. Now that would cut some of these leaves off here, but there is a way around that, so don't worry about that. We'll show you that at some point. There is a way where you can cut that hollow out without cutting off your beautiful leaving. And so that one is called Garden Song. So then the last stamp that I got is Roxburgh Script. And again, I guess it's similar, isn't it, in that it's kind of like, this is scripty, whereas the other one was musical notes, but it's that similar sort of idea. And then you've got the floral element, and then this gorgeous kind of filigree sort of drawing part on it. And that one goes with your Tahiti die, which is pretty obvious when you look at the shape of it. You can almost see it better there. Obviously the sizing isn't correct, but you can see the shape, and you can see that you would obviously cut using the outside die for that, and then the inside die, one of these ones, to cut out your centerpiece here. Now you've got a bit of a choice, I think. No, you've only got the one. Now this one does have a little piece that goes over the edge. I would suspect that this die comes just inside, because I don't think it will go right up to that line there. So I suspect that we wouldn't need any nifty little tricks on that one, and that it would be fine. So that is Roxburgh Script. Okay, so that is it for this launch. I hope you have enjoyed taking a look at a fairly reasonable selection of the launch from Sue Wilson of November 2016. I will of course be doing some projects with these in due course, so I look forward to sharing those with you as well. As I said, I do have a project that I have already filmed using the dies from the previous launch, and I will be getting that out to you soon. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed taking a look at these with me, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now. Bye. Bye.